I recently received an invitation to a Junior Achiever British Columbia, which is like a competition between high school students where they compete for $10,000. They present their business ideas, to win $10,000. And this is me on the day of the event outside my house waiting for the Uber to come pick me up. I was just trying to check out my outfit to see if everything's good, and at the same time enjoying the sun while I wait for the Uber to pick me up. And this is the event venue, which is KPMG building. They hosted the event, and it was a great feeling, to be invited to this kind of event. It's an honor. And this is the event, trying to observe to see what's going on. I met with the people that, sent me the invitation. I was asked to go get something to eat, And while I was waiting, I was just observing. I met other people. We exchanged numbers. We got talking. It was a great feeling. And waiting for the event to start and just checking out my outfit again, trying to see if everything is good. And the event started. This is the CEO, speaking. So let's see what she has to say.
Preparation and fine-tuning that has gone into this year's DYP. So I know that bar keeps rising with the amazing talent in this room. We're looking forward to hearing it. So judges, I expect you've got some work cut out for you. Speaking of our judges, we are very honored to be joined today by a very distinguished panel, each judge bringing their own expertise and a shared interest for empowering our future leaders. Your insights and thoughtful feedback are a vital part of this experience. And you are all community leaders, commitment to today's youth. And our appreciation also goes to our platinum partners, London Drugs, and the Mulberry Foundation, our university partner, University Canada West. Students and professors from UCW mentored these teams over, as Ryan said, the last number of months. Our location host, KPMG, for hosting the finals here today. And we also acknowledge
to Paul Geyer, who is the CEO of Nimbus Synergies, and also this wouldn't have happened with Paul because he actually came up with the idea at a board meeting. He just said, "Why don't we do this?" And the team at the time made it happen. And it's just got better every year. We've had more teams every year. We made it through COVID. We had to move online, and now we're back to in person. And I actually took part of feeling very successful and feeling that you've learned some important things about pitching. So on that note, be confident. Be happy. This is a great opportunity to learn as you're doing this, and you will use those skills, as I say, into the future. So again, a big thanks to Nimbus Synergies for providing the funds to the Discovery Foundation that then we could in return provide to JABC, our partners in this, and again the other partners and donors and so on. JABC is a wonderful, wonderful organization to work with. I look forward to working with them in the future as well. And judges, get ready. I was going to say that some of the pitches I saw today, you guys are already doing better than some of these professional pitches that I've seen. I'm not kidding, Paul. I'm not kidding, right? Some of them are really, really good. And I think for those of you in the audience that haven't seen any of this before, you're gonna have your socks blown off. It's just amazing. So thank you very much.
Thank you, David. My first involvement with JA was when I joined the JA company program in January 2024 at my local community center with two friends. At the time, I didn't realize just how much of an impact JA would have on me. Through JA, I gained the chance to explore the world of business in a hands-on way, and it has helped me develop skills in leadership, work, and communication, all of which I know will stay with me for years to come. JA has offered me incredible opportunities, such as speaking in front of business leaders at the 2024 BC Business Laureates Hall of Fame Gala, many of whom I recognize here today, and the 2025 JA Leadership Breakfast. This fall, I'll be starting engineering at UBC, and I'll carry forward the confidence and leadership skills I built through my time with JA. I'm so proud to be part of this community, and I'm delighted to be one of your MCs today at this year's Discover Your Pitch competition. I can't wait to see the creativity and passion our teams have brought to the competition.
Thanks, Ryan. So I'm currently in my second year at UBC Sauder School of Business. However, my passion for business began when I blindly joined the JA company program in high school. And what started as curiosity quickly became a pivotal journey as I rose through the ranks to become president of our student company, FlaxPax. Led a team of 10 to win the Battle of the Ads competition, donate profits to environmental youth, and earn the 2022 Company of the Year award. This experience showed me that perseverance is about turning ambition into action that leaves a lasting impact, and pushed me to grow as a leader, innovator, and speaker, culminating the incredible honor of receiving the JABC Oratory and Presentation Skills Award and speaking at the 2022 Business Laureates of BC Hall of Fame Gala. So this isn't the end of my JA story, it's just the beginning, and I can't wait to see how you write yours. Thank you.
So it is now time to hear from our student companies. But before we do that, I would like to introduce our wonderful panel of judges. They are seasoned business leaders, and we thank them for providing their expertise here today. So first, we have Stuart Louie, the chairman and CEO of London Drugs. And next, we have Greg Malpass, the founder and director of the Malberry Foundation. And we have Andrea Hill, the founder of the Cause We Care Foundation and the chair of the Aaron Family Foundation. Next, we have Walter Pela, the regional managing partner of KPMG. Next, we have Cindy Beatty, the executive director at the Beatty Foundation. And last but definitely not least, we have Lara Daphne, the managing director at the Fior Group of Companies. So, thank you to all 6 judges for being here. We have one more judge for you guys today, and it's you. Once you've heard all the pitches, please select your favorite. And if you're wondering how to come up with your $100. And the team with the most votes from the guests today will win an extra $500. Teams, you will each have 5 minutes to present, and anyone who goes 30 seconds over will be stopped. Judges, you will have 3 minutes total for your questions, and then 2 minutes to complete your score sheets. Judges will be looking for presentation quality and effective communication of ideas. Can these teams tell a story? This is all about the art of the pitch, and the judges will be looking for a clear explanation of the business model, the value proposition, the target market, and the competition. While it sounds simple enough, let me tell you, I think these judges will have a tough decision today, as these teams go head-to-head with their creative ideas and stellar communication skills. It is now time for the pitches. I would like to call our first team up.
So, kicking off things today is Kale Keys, a grade 11 student from 10 students from South Slocan, here to present quick step bindings. Kale traveled more than 670 kilometers to join us. So let's give a warm welcome and wish them the best of luck.
Testing. Sweet. Thank you guys for that introduction. I'm so glad to be here. First off, who here likes winter? As a raise of hand. Oh, that's more than I expected. Okay. Well, like many of you, I've loved winter since I was a kid. The cold, the snow, the dark. But regardless of whether you love winter or not, there's always the shared joy of winter sports. For many, it's hockey. For some, it's sled racing. Look it up, it's a real thing. But for me, it's snowboarding. Hi, my name's Kale Keys. I'm a 15-year-old snowboarder from the beautiful West Kootenays of BC, Canada. In the waiting winter in 2023, I joined the JA Company program, setting out to solve a problem that's been facing me and millions of other snowboarders for years. Oh, wasn't even on it, sorry. Picture this, you're an avid runner. You love to run, but on your average run, you have to stop every 20 minutes to tie your shoes in a puddle. This is what it feels like for millions of snowboarders, as every time they have to ride the chairlift, they need to unbuckle the binding that connects them to the board. Now, attempts have been made to solve this problem using step-in technology. This has led to problems of their own. During my market research, I found 3 problems on almost all of my competitors: price, comfort and feel, and proprietary setups. All right, if the huge companies can't solve this problem without making others, what needs to be done? The answer is simple: automatic bindings. Automatic bindings are much different from step-in bindings, as they keep the straps from traditional bindings that connect you to the board, but are able to be stepped into. Based off my market research, I found that my binding must be online with the traditional binding price. It must maintain comfort, it can't be too stiff, and it also has to connect with any board and any boot, so it must be interchangeable. Competitors. The main competitors in the snowboard binding market are as follows. 50% of the market is in the US with GNU, Burton, K2, Ride, and Roxy. 20% of the market is in Switzerland with Drake and Nidecker, my main competitor. 10% of the market is in Canada with Snowjam. And the final 10% of the market is in Finland with Solomon. These are the major brands, and only 3 of these brands have a step-in line, with only one having a revolutionary automatic line. Now you're probably thinking, why should you believe in me? Canada is a huge country. There's only one major competitor from Canada. This means real Canadian ingenuity is huge. And 9 times out of 10, people will choose Canadian quality over foreign garbage. Now you may be wondering, how profitable is my idea? In BC alone, there are approximately 300,000 snowboarders that fit my 18 to 24-year-old target and are just waiting for quick step bindings. What's more, with a current market revenue estimate of $700 million US, just a fraction of that provides much opportunity. Now I get it. It's not just the opportunity that makes a company successful, it's the mission. Ever since I saw this problem, I knew this is what I wanted to solve. But if it wasn't for my school ski lessons that were provided at a young age, I would never have gone to learn to snowboard. Since I got this opportunity, I'd love to pass that on. Additionally, I love my planet. And if there's no snow, I can't snowboard. That's why I cherish connecting with Canadian manufacturers that practice sustainability. Now I get it. Sorry about that. These are important personal values, but they also tie into the world's progression, as they connect directly to the UN SDGs goals for quality education, as well as sustainable consumption and production. Now I ask you, if there are any among you that value innovation, cherish Canadian ingenuity, and above all, enjoy having fun, please reach out to me afterwards. Because at Quick Step Bindings, we're not just about profits, we're about our people. Thank you. 4 other companies that are major: Burton, Clue, Nidecker, and I'm blanking on the last one now. What my binding is different from is it's not a step-in binding, as it's classified as automatic, meaning if you saw it in the previous slides, it keeps these straps from traditional bindings. So in a step-in sense, it fully removes those. And if you've seen a ski binding, it's almost more like a click. So if I keep the straps, it provides preference, so you can change tightness. Additionally, during my market research, I found that people would like the chance to get out of tight situations where snow actually gets stuck inside of the step-in binding systems. So traditional bindings work, but they're rudimentary. So keeping these straps allows you to save time, have preference, and be able to escape sticky situations that you can't control.
Sorry, are there any? One more question. One more question. Just
one more quick question. Just your distribution plan. Are you thinking more direct to consumer, like web-based Shopify, or through distributors and specialty shops?
That's a great question. I'd like to do a bit of everything, really. I'd like to have direct sales through online retail and in shops. But I also thought of connecting to ski hills specifically, because ski hills have this, you can buy rentals and
Judges, are you guys ready to continue? Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Imagine this. It's raining sideways on a bleak Vancouver day. A young girl gets drilled in the thigh with a shot at soccer practice. Cue the tears. She quits soccer and signs up for basketball. What if that girl was the next Christine Sinclair? Hi, my name is Kai Sager, and I'm excited to share my vision for an indoor soccer training center, Football as Life Soccer Academy. I'm committed to Colgate University in 2026. I was in the Whitecaps Elite Girls program for 2 years and currently play for Team BC. I got started the way most little kids do. The next Christine Sinclair won't come from just this. A talent like hers takes countless extra hours of dedicated training. My sister and business partner was amazed that many NCAA players lack fundamental skills. We were lucky to be raised in Vancouver by parents who supported us in every way. Now that you know a little about us, let's talk about phase 1 of our business. We'll launch in late spring this year, starting with one-to-one training with kids. We'll charge $40 per hour, about half the going rate. We'll run our sessions at Town Center Park in Coquitlam. We project a gross income of about $13,000 in year 1, essentially creating a part-time job while we build the brand and finish school. This will establish us for phase 2. Let's see what the competition is doing. The Soccer Academy market is booming. I trained with both of these. First is TSS. They're based in Richmond, they have strong brand presence, but they're expensive. I trained indoors with them for 2 years, but stopped when they moved outdoors to Richmond Oval. Schupa was located in Burnaby. They started outdoors, then moved indoors to hide from the COVID police. Unfortunately, leasing costs became too expensive, forcing them back outdoors. This gives us a massive competitive advantage. We will be immune to issues faced by nearly every academy. First, leasing costs are minimum $10,000 monthly for a suitable indoor space. Second, weather prevents outdoor training about a month a year in winter and sometimes in summer. Regardless of location, most academies share a similar target market. In phase 1, we'll focus on middle-class girls in the Tri-Cities area, aged 4 to 16, prime age for skill development, which is sorely lacking in most youth soccer clubs. Phase 2 will be similar, but with a focus on the Fraser Valley area, and maybe low income through corporate sponsorship. Speaking of phase 2, it's time to unveil the next stage. No, not farming. Does this make more sense? Phase 2 hinges on the purchase of an acreage in land, which is expected to grow 40% by 2031. Many acreages in the area have pre-existing outbuildings, like barns, that we could use for indoor soccer training. Our budget is up to $3 million. We found the sample 5-acre listing. It provides a beautiful single-story house for my parents to retire. It also has lots of land to expand. Most importantly, it has structures like this. After the purchase, we can launch Football as Life 2.0. For this phase, we will emphasize small group training. We'll run programs September to June, as well as one-week camps during school breaks. We will also offer one-to-one elite training, giving us a massive competitive advantage that we can leverage into a full-scale business. How big a business? Let's look at basic revenue projections. We project phase 2 revenues ranging from a conservative first year of $184K up to between $296 and $700K in years 3 to 5. But some things are more important than money, which brings me to the most exciting part of our business. We're going to play better. In line with UN Sustainability Goals 3, 4, and 5, we're going to play better for grassroots soccer, an organization championed by Bill Gates. Through playing a free, beautiful brand of soccer, we're going to help young girls in Kenya have a chance to reach their potential. We'll use charitable impact to automate the program. Players will be rewarded with donations for doing certain skills. My dad used this with my team when I was little. The picture here is of my sister's U12 team sending a donation to the Terry Fox Foundation. Winning is not the goal, rather bravery to try new stuff, ball mastery, and most of all, self-training and passion for soccer. Why grassroots soccer? Because of the book we got for Christmas when I was a kid. I didn't fully understand back then, Now that I do, I feel compelled to do something to help girls like the ones I read about in this book. Supporting grassroots soccer will help us work toward UN sustainability goals, good health and well-being, quality education, and gender equality. To help make this a reality, we're looking for an investment of $50,000 for barn renovations and equipment costs to help us grow into a full-scale business while we build the brand while gaining the connections and knowledge we need to expand. We're going to play better to help others live better and reach their potential while gaining a passion for the sport we love. Because there's moments where what we do is so much bigger than soccer and sport. Thank you. I'll take questions now.
So, any judges have questions now? Now's the time.
I have a quick question. You went over one of your competitive advantages is that you're cheaper than your competitors. Assuming part of that is because you're removing the lease costs with an outbuilding. If I looked quickly, it looked like it was about $3 million. Where do you plan on raising that capital? How do you plan on raising that capital for that building?
Well, for the building, the price should kind of cancel out because the plan would be for my parents to sell our house and then for them to and my dad's always grumbling every single day about how our backdoor neighbors have built a coach house about 4 feet from our back fence. So they're really enthusiastic about moving somewhere with more space, so they would be totally supportive of the idea.
Is it on? Yes, it is. I'm just wondering, I think great pitch. Thanks very much. I learned a lot. Just wondering, how would you make this program accessible to women with different backgrounds financially?
Oh yeah, for sure. I have a couple of slides. Well, many corporate businesses in the past, as I said, I mentioned briefly, that we would be looking for corporate sponsorships to help with low-income families. And many local businesses in the past have proven to be very supportive of youth sports. Here is my family's banker donating money to my sister's soccer team, who is traveling to a tournament in Europe. And about 2 years later, I went to the same tournament and we were able to raise about $25,000 in corporate sponsorships for the trip. So in the past, they have been proven to be very supportive, and I'm sure we'll be able to do the same thing.
Okay, one last question, please.
I was just going to ask, as a parent of a child who played, and I was taking my son to TSS, I didn't actually know they were moved outdoors. So the indoor component is makes it amazing from a competitive advantage. Do you think the location in Langley will pose as a problem for getting, or are you going to be drawn from that geographic area, or do you think there's an issue with getting players to come out there? Or?
We actually wanted Langley for a couple of reasons. One being that the population in the area is going to grow significantly by the year 2031. This was the article I cited when I mentioned that briefly. And here is a screenshot of the distance between the sample listing we found and Langley Event Center, which I'm by every couple of weeks for soccer. And it seems that every time I'm there, there's a new high-rise or a new condo being built. So we're hoping that with the increase of population growth, we'll just open the door to more potential clients. And then another reason being is that many acreages in the area still have big properties that have those outbuildings like barns for a reasonable price, which we would never be able to find closer to Vancouver. So those are actually some of the reasons that we wanted Langley specifically. Thank you.
Thank you, judges, and thank you, Kaya. While the judges are completing their score sheets, we will move on to the next team. Our next student company is TradePay. And we have Maya, grade 12, Isla, grade 11, and Gwyneth, grade 12, who are from Port Coquitlam. I need to do 30 seconds.
are you ready?
Hi, my name is Mybert. I'm First Nations and a member of a Squamish Nation. I've seen my people carry pain like it was part of their skin. Stolen lands, stolen voices, and stolen dreams. But I've also seen them rise over and over with nothing but hope in their hands. We are the proof they couldn't erase, and we are still here. We would like to start with land acknowledgement. We acknowledge we're on traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam nations. We honor their ways with the land, waterways, and ecosystems. Respect their elders past and present. Welcome to TradePay. We are an innovative app that empowers Indigenous youth by promoting positive behaviors like mental health awareness and educational engagement. It connects users to essential resources and reduces stigma.
So let's meet the team. Hi, I'm Gwen Mosencroft, co-founder and chief operating officer.
My name is Mybert, co-founder and chief data officer.
And my name is Isla Stewart. I'm also co-founder and the chief marketing officer. Gwen, would you like to get us started off?
Yes. So the problems we're trying to address are a part of everyday life for many Indigenous people. Hunger, mental health challenges, and overall motivation to attend school are some of the main issues Indigenous people face on and off reserves. Isla, do you want to explain our story?
Of course. Everyone meet Josh. He's an Indigenous student facing challenges such as food insecurity, mental health issues, and high dropout rates. These circumstances contribute to lack of motivation to attend classes and pursue his goals. Gwen?
Did you know that 66% of Indigenous families are not food secure, while only 34% are in food security? This slide emphasizes the urgent need to address hunger in Indigenous communities. Moving on to the next problem, statistics show that Indigenous youth are more likely to experience poor mental health, 38%, compared to the non-Indigenous youth, 23%, highlighting the significant mental health gap. Recognizing the need for a solution, we developed a rewards-based app designed to assist Indigenous youth. Users can earn points by attending school and participating in mental health sessions, which then can be redeemed for essential items. This incentive-driven approach fosters greater engagement and more participation. Isla will now explain how it works.
This app uses technology-dependent to create a positive reward system for your attendance and accomplishment. It reduces dropout rates and builds real-world skills with real-world problems and solutions. You can see on our home screen design, there's a place for ads to be displayed, and our app will be generating revenue through ads. You simply download the app onto your mobile device and create an account. Classrooms and mental health programs will have a bot scan the barcode at the end of each class or session. Each session or class you attend, you get points that can be used towards food, necessities, or services. With a simple scan at the end of the session, it can be a discreet and independent system. TradePay is a no-stigma zone, and you can feel safe and comfortable using the app. Now, who would TradePay be impacting?
The impact of TradePay impacts Indigenous youth and their families. It encourages well-being, provides essentials, supports education, strengthens cultural identity, aids ditch recovery, and builds independence. So how is Josh doing?
Well, with TradePay, Josh has the opportunity to foster a more inviting and supportive environment for himself. Attending classes will become a rewarding experience rather than a burden. This app not only promotes motivation, but also encourages the development of positive and healthy habits. Gwen?
We received a $14,000 quote from C Molds, an app development team for a basic app. Our startup will focus on app design, testing and maintenance, and marketing. We aim to reach 100,000 youth in the first year, generating 2 million impressions in the first month, with an ad space priced at $500 per month, receiving 5 advertisers monthly. This will allow us to reach our first year revenue goal of $30,000. Now you may be wondering, is anyone like us?
No, TradePay is a unique app. Our uniqueness and originality is what truly sets us apart on the market. Allura is an app designed for teachers to upload assignments and track students' attendance. Let's hear about our partnerships.
Our partnerships are the local nations and friendship centers, fosters trust and credibility in Indigenous communities. They enhance community engagement by providing positive behavior. Let's take the next step together and join our mission. Let's help Josh rise instead of erased. Invest in thousands of students in the future, just like Josh, before it's too late.
Join our mission and invest today.
Thank you for the question. As this app doesn't store too much personal information, it is safe and secure. However, for students that don't automatically have access to an iPhone or a mobile device, we are hoping to be able to be accessible through laptops or maybe a slip piece of paper that people can print out and use that way. We will be there is no decision on who will be using the app. We will contact bands and look on our partners, and they can let us know who really truly does need trade pay.
You got 100,000 users in the first year. Can you just provide some context as to how you're getting that number?
I can take that question. So we're getting that number from an estimate of how many people we've reached out to in local indigenous communities around our community and seeing how many actually need it. And we got that number from how many people have reached out back to us and told us.
Okay, last question, judges.
Some competition for questions here. I'm interested in the revenue model. So you were specifically getting into kind of the ad spend and advertising dollars. I guess two questions. One, in this world of advertising, especially an application that's targeting vulnerable youth, how can you manage the conflict that would happen around the advertisers who wants to pay money and get in front of those youth, and also making sure you adhere to an ethical boundary, or make sure that you're presenting ads that are of positive substance to your target?
So we would make sure that all of our advertisements go along with the lines of what we're supporting to make sure none of it's backlashing into them. And we want to make sure everybody feels comfortable, and all of our partnerships should align with food banks and government sponsors and everything that would go along with indigenous communities and all that.
And we'll just give the judges about 1 more minute to finish their score sheets. Judges, are you ready?
All over the world, hundreds of millions of people every single day struggle with fidgeting and picking problems. Skin picking, hair pulling, nail biting, you name it. And this causes so many problems for the people with these issues, like acne scarring, scabbing, and hair loss, and is overall a very harmful and uncomfortable habit to have. Hi, I'm Molly, the owner and founder of Muchiko, an art-based fidget brand made to help support neurodivergent people, pickers, and anyone else who needs it. I have ADHD, Tourette syndrome, and anxiety, and fidgets have always been a huge help in managing focus, stress, and sensory needs for me. However, most fidget tools out there are cheaply made, break easily, or just aren't designed with neurodivergent users in mind. So, I started making my own, and soon other people wanted them too. That's when I realized there's a real need for fidget tools designed by people who actually use them. One of Muchiko's first fidget tools are Pick and Poppers. Pick and Poppers are adorable fidget pads, which combine my own artwork, fun trinkets, and a helpful tool for anyone really. They're made with silicone and beads, which you can pick out as a distraction and release to that picking impulse for anxious minds. Each one even comes with a little piece of string or chain that you can use to turn your leftover beads and trinkets that you picked out into your own brand new piece of jewelry. So it's like a 3-in-1. First, you pick the beads out of the Pick and Popper. Then you have a fun craft project for after. And finally, you have your own brand new piece of jewelry that you made all by yourself. As of right now, we are hitting 5 of the UN SDGs: the good health and well-being, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, and responsible consumption and production, which shows that this product. Pick and poppers are a form of pig pad, a fidget toy that has recently become popular on the internet. The main producers of pig pads are Amazon and Temu. Now, let's take a quick look at the differences between my product and my competitors. First of all, both Amazon and Temu are big box companies that mass produce their products in factories, often resulting in low quality products, poor craftsmanship, and unhygienic conditions. With my Pick and Poppers, I hope to change the way that pig pads are made. Each one is handmade in my living room with high quality beads and silicone, so you won't have to worry about it falling apart on you. Not just that, but each one is handcrafted by neurodivergent youth who I hire. This gives them meaningful, flexible work in an environment that understands their needs. But best of all, with my 3-in-1 design, the waste from each Pick and Popper is significantly reduced. You have a fun craft project for after, and a whole piece of jewelry that you made all by yourself. Who wouldn't prefer that? On top of all of this, both Amazon and Temu are marketplaces featuring many faceless vendors from China. With my Pick and Poppers, I hope to achieve a brand that you can recognize and trust as your go-to fidget. My online store is where most of my pickies are being sold, and people have been telling me just how much of a difference this product makes in their life and how appreciative they are of my work. These are just a couple examples of my online reviews where you can see real results from real customers who find Pick and Poppers helpful. In just the last 8 months, I've sold over 500 units through my website, local markets, and stores, making over $10,000 in profit revenue with a profit margin of 76%. But demand is growing fast, and I can't keep up. I need your investment to move into a larger production space, keep up with materials, and expand my team so we can reach even more people who rely on this product. And this is just the start. We're planning on developing so many more tools to help support people like me and change the fidget market. This is more than just a business. It's about empowerment, inclusion, and making the world just a little bit better for people like me. With your help of a $3,000 investment, we can reach even more people who rely on this product and make this helpful tool more accessible for those around the world who need it, and build the go-to fidget brand for the neurodivergent community through my business. So, who's ready to fidget their way to success with me? Larger volume, which is why I'm looking for an investment to be able to purchase the materials to produce this product in larger quantities, wholesale, so that we can do them in larger batches, because as of right now, we can only produce the Pick and Poppers in small batches, and as of right now, it is just me and a few neurodivergent youth who I have been hiring and working with to build the Pick and Poppers. So the main problem right now is definitely being able to keep up with materials and produce the products at a fast enough rate to keep up with the demand that we are receiving.
Are you currently paying the people you're having working for you, or is labor part of your business plan, or are they currently, they are?
Yes, yeah. Okay. So as of right now, we have a few people who work on Pick and Poppers, a few batches for every few months based on the demand. And as of right now, they are being paid per batch rather than by the amount of work that they are doing. So since most of the people who I am working with are neurodivergent or have a hard time getting things done quickly, we are paying them based on not on how fast they're able to produce it or rushing, that kind of thing, but rather just on them being there and them putting in the work. So to answer your question, yes, we are definitely paying them, and labor is part of the cost of each Pick and Popper. Thank you for your question.
And one last question from me, please.
I love the fact that you built a product that you truly understand.
Thank you.
You know, as so I wanted to learn a little bit more about cost per unit and how your price varied. I definitely understand a lot around your positioning. It seems as though really this is just a product that you're purchasing, but by fact of purchasing the product, you're actually helping people, which I think is an incredible piece of this. But how much more do you think, how much are you charging today? And do you think there's an opportunity for you to expand the line, or you can potentially charge more given that you're offering a service to neurodivergent youth, even in the production of the product?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So right now, each one costs us about $3.60, including labor, and we're selling them for about $15. It is actually our goal to be able to lower our price, especially to offer in bulk. We are trying to expand into counselor and therapist offices, actually. So I want to be able to purchase materials in larger amounts so that I can actually reduce the cost rather than rising it, since our profit margins are already so high, and it is my goal to be able to help people and help just like neurodivergent people with these issues to be able to have this product more accessible. So raising the price is not my goal, but producing more product in bulk and offering lower prices to counselor offices, people with picking issues, and overall just anyone who needs it. Thank you. I hope that answers your question.
Getting to the next team set up here. Next student company we have is Pause and Pulse Bella from Bella, grade 11, and then Sienna from grade 11 as well, and Ava, who is also in grade 12, and they're also all from Vancouver. So all right, we'll just be waiting for the judges to set up.
Keep your pets safe because they're family, but GPS collars are chunky, unfashionable, and ruin the moment. What if I could guarantee you will never lose your pet again and look good while doing it? Pause and Pulse makes staying connected effortless and stylish with matching jewelry that add a fashionable touch to staying safe and connected. Good afternoon, my name is Bella Zhao and I'm the CEO.
Hello, I'm Sienna Geisler and I'm the COO.
I'm Ava Chester, the CFO.
We would like to thank you and DYP for this wonderful opportunity to present in front of you all. Now let's take a look at the problem. Who here has a pet? Aren't they the most beloved thing in the world? Did you know that 58% of all Canadians own a pet? And what's even scarier to realize is that 1 million of those pets will go missing. So the main issue we're facing is pet owner anxiety. And along with that, we're also wanting safety and security concerns, along with increased freedom outdoors for active pets.
That is exactly why we created Pause and Pulse, a smart, stylish way to keep pets safe and close. Our product is a lightweight, GPS-enabled collar with sea glass jewelry layered on top and a matching bracelet for the owner. The collar has a secure base made of nylon webbing for safety and comfort, and there's a GPS tracker that connects to our phone app and tracks your pet in real time. Now, we also use recycled sea glass, which helps to reduce ocean waste, supporting UN Sustainable Development Goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. Now, here's a closer look at some of our design variations. We've created multiple styles using gold tone detailing and recycled sea glass. On the left, you can see a front and back view of our collar, and over here is our app design.
Now here's how our vision is possible. The Pause and Pulse business model's revenue stream comes from initial direct sales of $59.99 per set, and that leads to a $5 monthly charge, which creates an annual reoccurring revenue. This pricing accounts for our company expenses, such as cost of production, as well as cost of app creation and maintenance. So, what are we up against? Here you can see a grid that outlines the qualities of other pet color companies in comparison to Pause and Pulse. Now, there are two key facts here that I would like to highlight. First of all, if you would like the safety and reassurance of tracking your pet, it is going to be bulky, not fashion focused, and potentially even hundreds of dollars. Now, if you would like a bracelet that matches your pet's collar, you have no choice but to order from outside of the country, and yet the styles remain repetitive and plain. Now, if you would like both that safety and reassurance, as well as an attractive standout style, well, that just doesn't exist. And that's our competitive advantage, because no other company offers the technology of tracking in combination with fashionable matching styles.
That's right, Ava. Now let's look at our target market. This would be the global pet industry worth $259 to $324 billion. Our primary market would be pet owners. These are people ages 25 and above, their income being middle to high range, and they consider themselves to be pet parents. Now, our expected number of customers is approximately 60,500, and this is after around the 10-year mark based off of our competitors' research. Now, why would our target market want to buy our product? Well, it's simple. They want their pet safe and stylish too. We're the exact product to catch their eye.
And as we do catch it in the pet industry, we'll track our growth through product sales and app usage. And as we expand, we will introduce new styles as well as subscription boxes. To stay ahead of competitors, we will have a team dedicated to constant innovation, such as updating the GPS technology or launching new seasonal designs. Long term, we aim to go international and collaborate with big pet chains such as PetSmart, all while staying true to our mission, keeping pets safe, owners connected, and the planet just a little cleaner.
There's my dog! I'm gonna buy a set from Paws and Pulse to make sure he never gets lost again.
And that's exactly what Paws and Pulse is all about, keeping pets safe, owners connected, and doing it all in style.
We ask for your support so that we can ensure the safety and style of all pets, just like Sienna's beloved dog, Duncan.
Thank you, and we are open to any questions.
Judges, it's time for questions, if you have any.
Model, and tell me why you decided on the subscription model and what the value add is for the consumer with respect to that subscription.
Thank you for the question. Our subscription model is $5 a month, and we actually do have competitors who also have a subscription model. However, theirs is $7 a month. So by being the lower cost, we are more attractive towards potential new customers.
Yeah, and also having a subscription box and having recurring customers is good for us because that builds customer relationship between us and our customers so that they keep coming back for more, and then we can have our updates and then give it to them as well.
Next question.
Of global deforestation is due to agricultural production. This is not acceptable.
So how do we start at the source, input costs. In farming, 40% of input costs go towards chemicals and fertilizers. Seedlit offers a product that replaces this 40% while also being more sustainable and affordable for both farmers and consumers.
So how do we actually do this? We use bioengineered microbial strains of bacteria to provide traits to crops previously unattainable through conventional fertilizers and pesticides. And to do this, we edit 3 key genes in our strains. The nod gene, so the strain can detect the crop, the T3SS gene, so the strain and the crop can work together, and the quorum gene, so that all our strains can operate together in harmony. Seedlit uses a capsule-based delivery system, hosting 20 unique strains which create their own ecosystem right in the soil. It's able to synthesize nutrients from substances such as nitrogen and phosphorus. It's able to cycle it as well, and can do carbon capture. And this is in addition to a plethora of other features which you can see on the slide.
But our vision extends beyond what's in the soil. Sustainability is at the heart of everything we do, including our packaging. Now, take a look at this. On the right is packaging from a competitor that markets itself as eco-friendly. But as you can see, it's literally wrapped in irony. At Seedlit, we knew that this kind of greenwashing wasn't going to cut it. This is why we have utilized pulp from discarded paper products in combination with the beeswax lining to protect against the elements. Now, let's talk about how Seedlit is impacting real communities. Seedlit directly supports the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and here are a few examples.
Let's start with zero hunger. Seedlit enables farmers, especially those in regions facing soil degradation, to grow food more sustainably and affordably. This boosts farmers' income while also increasing the food supply.
In terms of climate action, Seedlit directly reduces agriculture's carbon footprint by replacing chemical fertilizers and pesticides, two of the biggest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions in farming.
And of course, life on land. Seedlit reduces the chemical dependency of crops, protecting the countless organisms that rely on healthy soil ecosystems. Additionally, because Seedlit allows more food to be produced per acre, we're protecting habitats from agricultural land expansion.
But at Seedlit, we know that no solution is truly sustainable unless it is also financially cents per pound to produce Seedlit. And as you can see from the slide, our pricing schemes differ for each of our target markets, hobby gardeners and commercial farms. Additionally, because Seedlit is produced entirely within Canada, we are protected from political tensions with the United States.
And because Seedlit increases the quality of soil, farmers are able to use 62.5% less product per acre. And what this translates to is a 13.6% or $20,000 reduction in the average total input cost for the average Canadian farm.
Assuming we sell to 10 farms entirely, which is a very conservative estimate, our projected first-year revenue is approximately $1.1 million, yielding us a net profit of approximately $540,000. Now, let's talk about the competition.
Or more accurately, the lack of it. Seedlit has no direct competitors. And while we do have some indirect competitors, none offer the same range of features, and especially not at our price point. This makes Seedlit both the most affordable and accessible option in the agricultural space.
The global fertilizer market alone is projected to reach $277 billion by 2034. And with rising pressure to move to more sustainable solutions, there is a massive gap waiting to be filled. At Seedlit, we see a future where agriculture thrives, where farmers can feed the world while protecting the planet.
Now, we have just one question for you. Do you see it? Seedlit. Thank you.
And now it's time for questions from the judges.
Great presentation. What's your plan for getting this product to farmers?
Yeah. So we are actually planning on opening an online store. So we have two target markets. Our first one is hobby gardeners and our second one is commercial farms. So we have a variety of marketing strategies to engage farmers and encourage them to use our product. So one of these is we're actually going to partner with agriculture schools. Do you want to talk a bit about this?
Yeah, so specifically we're looking at Guelph, which is, in my opinion, the best school. I'm going there. Yeah, and because that the students are going to get to work with our product, when they actually enter the field, they're going to be able, they're actually going to be able to be using our product, and that's what they're going to be familiar with. So that's opening a direct line of communication with our market, yeah. Yeah, so the way that it works is that we'll find like the root strains, and we'll do this either by going into the field ourselves or from banks. And then what we'll use is an enzyme called CRISPR-Cas9. And what it does is specifically targets certain alleles on the gene. And once we have edited this, we'll put this into an incubation tank for about 48 hours. And this will actually accommodate a farm of, the average farm is 775 acres. And then to make sure that it's shelf stable, we have to freeze dry it. And this, keeps the both of us truly believe in. And we see this going global, right? Right now we're just going to focus on Canada. But I think we want to do this ourselves, and I don't think that we would want to sell to another company and kind of be like underneath them. And we really want to drive this. We really believe this. Yeah, I mean.
Sorry. So as Lee said earlier, sustainability is our key mission. Profit is not our main goal. It is a goal that we are striving towards because we think that is a key factor in order to keep developing our product and ensuring it stays relevant to the market. But we really want to ensure that our work is aligning with international well-being and with sustainability. So profit is not our main goal.
Yeah, so it was a very energetic presentation to start, for sure. So I just want to ask, raise your hand if this has happened to you. You're ready to present, you're ready to take your brilliant idea out, and your marketer just fails on you. You shake it, you search for another one, and like even if you find one that actually works, your momentum is gone. But there's actually a bigger issue that no one's talking about. That marker right there, it did not actually run out of ink. So surprisingly, over 80% of the markers that we found still contains ink in them, even when they're dry. The culprit, that little crack right there. So Expo Marker, which is one of the biggest whiteboard marker companies, have this terrible, terrible design on their cap, where if you breathe on it wrong, it just cracks completely. And if it cracks, it's gone. It's gonna dry out even with the ink on. And honestly, do you really think a $400 million company is gonna miss this design flaw? Or is it to really keep you buying these single-use markers again and again? And as a result of this, 400 million markers are thrown into landfill every single year. And that's enough to circle the earth one whole time. And I'm Richard Sia, founder of Ink Again. We're a B2B upcycling company with a focus on turning waste into products. What we actually do is that we grab dried out whiteboard marker from multiple educational institutes from around Vancouver. We refurbish them, refill them, and turn them into sustainable products once again. So what we actually do is that all of these dried out whiteboard markers usually have this common denominator where the cap is broken. So we apply a seal, we refill it, we add our 3D printed back cap, which you can screw off and then refill again, and we send it right back to schools. And our business model is, think 1920s milk deliveries. Back then, you don't have these milk cartons where we buy it, we keep it in the fridge. Back then, you had these glass bottles where after you finish using them, you put it in your front door, they take it away, they refill it, and then the next day you have fresh milk. So our target market is going to be businesses like large educational institutes, as well as, we're in the KPMG building, so I even call that one of my target markets, since I'm sure everyone here uses whiteboard markers. So why is that? Why are we not doing retail markets? It's because of all of these educational institutes, they have a sustainability goal to meet, where they're saying, oh, we're sustainable, we want to be sustainable. However, we still see these markers being in use, and then after you're done with it, just chuck into the landfill. So how can we preach sustainability when the very tool that we use to teach it is straight up single use? And as well, B2B, these giant organizations allows us to collect markers as a whole, solidify our logistic networks by targets instead of asking them to pick it up. And they're honestly a really, really reliable cash flow where they're going to be using whiteboard markers every single day. And that is going to be a recurring revenue where we can depend on. And why us? Well, Expo Marker in bulk is offered at $1.40 per unit. We do $1.30 on the initial unit and 1.1 per refill. If you look at the graph right there, you can see how we match up against Expo, where Expo is actually more expensive, and again, they last shorter because of that cap. So in reality, we're a business that offers way more reliable markers at a lower cost that happens to be green and way more sustainable than our closest competitor. And I just want to go into a short story here. So I met this founder at an event where they created a biodegradable marker company called Firm. They had traction, they had great mission, and he was really, really smart. But no, eventually he sold the company and it failed because of one singular reason. These markers, biodegradable markers, need to be remanufactured every single time. Even when they degrade, it's still going to be terrible for the planet because they last forever. And we don't have that issue because we are basically a waste collection system that has built-in margins within them. And key insights. After going into 4 principals' offices, we found that all of these schools have some sort of collection programs already in it. And that caused us to run a pilot program where we generated over $100 in revenue, and we sold more than 600 markers. And we found out that out of the blue, a school in an elementary school that's near my school sent us these packages just out of the blue. It hurt us, and this all demonstrates that school wants this now. So let's stop talking about sustainability and let's bring this thing into the classroom and write the future with Inkgia. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. And we're now going to have questions from the judges.
I haven't been in school for quite some time, as you might imagine, so we had chalk back in the day. I'm just wondering, I know that there are smart boards that are chalkless. There's different technologies that are available. Do you see dry erase markers continuing to be used in schools going forward?
I think so, like 100%. Chalk, as a matter of fact, do causes lung issues after research, so I see people phasing that out slowly and slowly. And smart boards, our school only has one, and our teachers do complain about how weird it is to use. And all 4 of the schools that I do talk to, I have friends from like around 5 schools in Vancouver, they're all using whiteboard markers.
Thank you, judges, and thank you.
And here it was time to vote for the winner. So, and again, another opportunity to meet with other people, other business-minded people, like myself. I met with the CEOs of different companies. I think I met with the CEO of London Drugs, yes, the CEO of the JABC itself, and I met with different people. It was amazing. So I was waiting for, to vote and, like a break. So we're all voting, we're mingling with each other, exchanging numbers, networking, which is, one of the beauty of events like this. And we're being called to come back, to come sit down, to settle down back so we can, so they could announce the winner. So Lady, who do you think would win? I want your comment.
$500.
And that's a reminder, this is the fan favorite. So this is who you chose. And you chose Muchiko.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, congratulations. So, announcing our 3rd place will be Judge Andrea Hill.
Okay, I want to say that all the judges felt that the presentations were excellent. Everybody did an incredible job. We were blown away. In 3rd place, it was a very tough, a lot of discussion and debate in the room, and we voted for 3rd place as Pods and Pauls with
Okay, congratulations. And now to announce 2nd place will be Judge Cindy Pierre.
Hello, everybody, and I echo Andrea's comments. So many great presentations. Thank you for all the time you put into them. I know there's a lot of effort that went in, and I just wanted to announce 2nd place. It was difficult. And 2nd place is Seedlet.
Congratulations. And announcing our 1st place would be Judge Stuart Louie.
Hi guys, I would definitely echo what the other judges have said before. It was super impressive to see all of you guys. Everyone did well, so There are no losers here. I do sit in a lot of presentations, and I can certainly say that you guys are right there. You know, you guys are professional, content's great, the presentation's great, so all of you will have to be proud of. The presentation that won first place was a presentation that I was really impressed with. It could have been something that I would sit in. And in fact, I'm probably going to talk to my buyers about contacting this person. But like you guys, you could all be judges. Our number one pick was Muchiko.
Congratulations. And that concludes the 2025 Discover Your Pitch Finals. Congratulations to all the student teams. For all the other teams, you will each receive a check for $250. The winning teams are requested to join us up front for
Comment below what you gained from this event, from watching. There are a lot of things, their pricing strategies, the way they pitch their, their business ideas. Tell me what you learned, because I learned a lot from this event. Thank you. Bye.